On the journey to success, one of the main things you need to do is know yourself. So you might have a desire to find your dreams, find your talent, their hidden talent, develop it, and make that positive impact on the world and others around you, including being able to find happiness in what you do yourself. Honestly, the best way to do that is to begin to recognize who you are. I spent so many years myself trying to figure out who I was. In many cases, devalued who I am based on the fact that I was trying to figure that whole equation out. In what way do I add value to others when I could not see that around me? And honestly, it ends up being that we try to identify who we are based on how others see us, how others interact with us, how others define who we are. And then we even go as far as to look at what others are doing. What things are they doing that make them successful? I see this individual who I like and I respect, and I want to be more like them. So we try to change who we are, or at least what we think we are, into a mirror image of something that we see or admire in somebody else. Or we use what others tell us about ourselves as a means of defining who we are. And lastly, we allow the experiences of our past to help attempt to define us as an individual and tell us who we are. And okay, based on the things that have happened in my life, this is who I am. Many of these things that we're looking at, especially pretty much any of these things that we're looking at, are often going to give us an improper view of who we are. And if we have an improper view, then you can't possibly see the true gifts and talents that you have and be able to take those things and develop them, because you don't even know they're there, because you've been looking everywhere else and at everyone else to try to determine where your value lies. Because of the fact that I've spent a majority of my life trying to define who I was and trying to determine where my gifts and my values lie, I've made tons of mistakes. I've had tons of failures. Not to say that once you define that, you won't still have some failures, but I made tons of failures and mistakes based on a negative or misunderstanding of who it is that I actually am and what value I actually have that I bring to this world. And in the last year or so, I've started to attempt to define that. Stopped looking at the outside. Stopped looking at what everyone else says, thinks, feels. Stopped looking at the things that I admire in others and appreciate them for who they are, but however, stop using that to compare or change who I am so that I could like myself more. The best thing that you could possibly do for yourself starting today is to look deep within yourself. You may have to separate yourself from others for a period of time to do this, or you may be able to. You may have some people, wonderful people in your life that can come in and help you on the journey to defining who you are. But if you do, I would suggest that you're very careful with those individuals who you choose for that inner circle of people to help define you and help you to see the person that you really are, because their perception is going to be based on their own personal experiences, and some of those experiences have absolutely nothing to do with you. It's so important for you to take time out to begin to recognize your gifts, your qualities, your imperfections. Get to know yourself so that you can then begin to enjoy the individual you are. They often say to love someone, you love their virtues as well as their faults. But if you're going to find that love for yourself, then you have to be able to love your faults and virtues. You need to understand what they are, understand a little bit about where they come from, and use those things to help you see the gifts and talents that lie within you. And by understanding that, it will also help you to be able to find avenues in which you can develop and be able to provide those gifts and talents and add value to others. You know who it is. It's AlTone. You know what I'm about. And it's truly about helping you to overcome all of the obstacles in your life, to be able to find your gifts and talents and develop them so that you can not only add value to others and add value to the world, but you can also find happiness and joy within yourself doing that. And of course, if that is something that you're looking for, if that is something that helps you, if this video helped you, then make sure that you do hit that subscribe button, because that's the direction that I'm taking with every single video, to try to help you to develop and be the best you that you can possibly be. So as I always say, it's not just a dream, it is a destination. Together we are going to get there after we truly find out and understand and learn to love ourselves, faults and virtues, for who we are. We're going to get to that destination and realize that absolutely nothing is impossible for us. We can do anything that we put our mind to. You know I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Have an absolutely fantastic week. I will talk to you again very soon. Peace.